a lot of times you start out as an actor, you get that really, obviously, you've had a couple of very iconic roles. This one's coming very late in your career. I mean, a long career.
Yeah.
What is it about John Wick?
I don't know. I mean, I could talk about, from my perspective, I love playing the role. I love his will. I love that he's, you knock him down, he keeps going. I love his grief. I like his kind of code and ethic. I like his humor. And then the films, I love the style of them. I love the humor of them. I love the world creation. They're fun. The action is great. And I think they're really entertaining films. They're just fun to watch and go for the journey of it.
Well, it's also a lot more work for you because you are, the action, the stunts, is a lot, falling on you a lot.
Yeah, which I'm glad to be there. I mean, I don't do stunts, but I do as much action as I can. Yeah. For me, it's such a great opportunity, to be able to be directed and be with so many talented people to help train and support, and the other performers that I'm working with, like Common is amazing in this picture, and I love the action and whatever it can do, I just want to do it better.
Now, of course, everyone's asking about the whole, reuniting of you and Lawrence, which
Yeah,
is amazing, right?
It's our first time to be in a scene together post the Matrix trilogy.
That must be awesome.
Yeah, it was cool to see him. It was great to act with him. He's an amazing actor and a cool cat, and we're friends. And one of the ways that we expand the world is this other character named the Bowery King, and Lawrence is playing him, and he just brings a magnificence to it. It's great.
Oh yeah, it's a
and
really
danger.
Great. Yeah. So we'll
and humor.
World building. How much are you involved in the story process and continuing this?
Yeah, definitely. The first film, I definitely worked on some drafts, kind of personalizing it with taste and me playing the role before it went to directors, and then collaborating with David Leitch and Chad Stahelski, and then with Chad on the second film. Definitely involved in the group think about where the story could go and what it could do in dialogue and characters.
Well, revenge tales are easy to do, and a lot of people do them, but this is a little different in the fact that you do see John's pain, and you do see a lot of grief, and you see him weak a lot.
Yeah.
That must be fun as an actor as well, besides the action.
Yes, it's a rich role. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's and I like, the story. It's like it is. He's kind of fighting for his life. He's fighting for his independence. For me, John Wick is fighting for John. John, who wants to heal from the loss of his wife, or just remember. And now John Wick, in order to do that, the consequences of the past are haunting the present. And John Wick, with the rules and codes, are not quite starting to work so well. And so I need to be free.
You built the action in the first film really well. The stunt work coming from your background is amazing. You've really done it, gone out all the way with this one.
Thanks.
How did you approach even going farther this time?
Again, I think it's more about process, and if you're going to, let's just call it world expansion, meaning action, set design, set pieces, bigger set pieces, more complicated, more creative action. I can think like that all I want, and I can tell my camera crew to be that all they want. We can do all this stuff, but we're not in front of camera. What my vision is irrelevant to the audience. So who's on camera? So where do you got to start? You got to start with Mr. Reeves. You got to start with John Wick, right? So that means tell Keanu, and he's got the same thing. Okay, we're doing a second one. What are we gonna do better? Well, we're gonna start with you. We're gonna make you better. We're gonna make you do more skill set. He's like, okay, well, you're gonna learn a lot more judo. You're gonna learn different kinds of jiu-jitsu. You're gonna learn sambo. You're gonna take you to, we found Taryn Butler, who's like the international 3-gun champion, which is pistol, rifle, shotgun. It's like obstacle courses with firearms. We're gonna take him, we're gonna do 30,000 live fire rounds. We're gonna make you an actual gun competitor. We're gonna make you that good so you can compete at a national level in guns. No bullshit. We're going to take you to the real competitors. We're going to take you to Higa Machado and our stunt team, and we're going to make you a competitive level jiu-jitsu guy. We're going to take you to the Japanese judo guys and the Japanese jiu-jitsu guys that we know, and we are going to make you a stand-up aikijitsu guy. We're going to make you just good. We're going to train you like a stunt guy. Not even just chuck cast, chuck the nice guy thing. You're a dude now. So when he comes up, it's not just him and a couple trainers. It is him and 10 other stuntmen. And if they fall down, he falls down. He gets up, they get up. Like, it's just We're going to take that away. We're going to put you in a car, and we're not going to have you do just a fancy slide in. We're going to have to teach you how to ram things with cars. We're going to teach you how to break shit, which is always fun. But we're going to teach you how to do it, and you're not going to hurt yourself, and you're not going to do this. And when we throw you, it's going to be you. We'll still use the doubles and still use all the stuff when we have to, when we deem. We're going to take you as far as we can take you in the 5 months we have. We're going to beat you up. We're going to throw you downstairs. We're going to throw you through windows. We're going to do it, and it's going to be you. He's like, cool. That's where we started. And if we can make him better, that makes the character better, that makes it more believable, and that takes us to the point. You know, you can't do the kind of shooting and editing we do, which is honestly very simple. Train the cameraman to hold it in frame, come back, wider shots. The DP hides the lights, the stunt guys rehearse a lot more. But if the actor can't load the weapon, if he can't aim the gun in the right position, if he can't do the jiu-jitsu move, I got to cut. So editing and camera work become more about hiding things than it is about showing things. We had to train our cast and our stunt teams and our camera teams, have to overtrain them and over choreograph it like a dance routine so that I can choose when to edit. Now, when you see an edit in John Wick for the action sequence, it's because I chose to edit. It's not because I had to. It's not because the choreography fell apart or somebody screwed up. It just felt like this is a more interesting shot, or this is a better angle, or this is where the pacing slowed down, so I wanted to pick it up a little bit here with an edit. You know, when the camera switches off, it's to show you something. It's not to hide something. And I think that's a big distinction between what happens in a lot of action movies today.
Do you, so you're building this universe. How big can you go?
You know, in my mind, as big as the audience cries for. The more, if John Wick 2 is received well and they say, okay, great, and I love reading all the reviews that you guys do and stuff, if the audience comes back on all your websites say, look, that's great, we love it, what about the dog, what about the world, where's Aurelio on this one, why isn't there more there, like, you know, that's our biggest goal, and the amount of reading I did in all the websites and all the great critical reviews and all the great fanboy reviews and all that stuff, they kind of told us where to go. I mean, everyone loved the world, and that's where we try to take the second one. So go out there, pitch what you got to do, say what you got to say, give us the responses back, and as an audience member, if you demand better action, we'll give you better action. You know, it's like anything else. If you refuse to eat the gruel, we got to give you the steak. So like, you know, my word to the audience is like, expect more action, expect more world. Tell us what you want to see, and that's the limit. As much as you guys want, that's our job to somehow get all wacky and deliver it. So as much as the audience wants, we'll give.
First of all, great to see you in this and in this movie too.
Oh, thank
my
you.
God, and always good to see you. But how did you both get involved with this film?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll let you go, Ruth.
Yeah.
I got a call from Chad. He was working, you know, because he directed the first John Wick with another guy as well, and they were working on a few projects, and he just sort of wanted to have a general meet. And when I walked in, I saw the mood board. I don't know if you went to the mood board in New York and saw how they. And I was like, there's like a bunch of like my face everywhere, and then sort of some hipster-looking guys and some kind of gangster-looking dudes. And I was like, this has got to be about John Wick for sure. And we had a chat, and he asked me how I felt about the first film, and I loved it. And he got me to read the script, and I was like, I am in.
Yeah, my my agent told me that they were interested in me for a role, and I was like, man, I'm like, I checked out John Wick, and I was like, man, this is a great movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. I would love to be a part of it. So I got on the phone with Chad, and just told him. I gave him my pitch. Like, I don't know if, you know, he was already decided or undecided, but, you know, I knew I wanted to be a part of it bad enough. I just said, hey, man, I'm going to come in and give all the work, and I'll become Cassian and make sure that by the time we're done, I'll be on my way to being one of the great fighters in film. And you know, that's what I told him. And so, you know, he chose me. He chose me. Oh, thanks. But,
So did you.
yeah, man, it's an honor to work like with Ruby. Even though we didn't get scenes together, it just was like, just to have these, to me, people that are really talented and have something cool and innately just like sincere about them. That's what I find in Keanu, and that's why we love John Wick.
Well, there's also a different time. This is a different type of action movie, whereas most action movies cut to the chase. Oh, cameras all over the place. This shows the action because it's a different style of fighting. It's a different style.
Yeah.
How did you guys adapt to that kind of very realistic, let's actually do this?
Well, I think it's more fun. You know, I've always said that, like, well, you know, for me, it was like, why do an action film if you're not going to be doing the stunts, if you're not going to be involved in the action? And I might regret that when I'm like 50 and all my bones are still hurting from all those action films I shot. But, you know, I think that it's kind of the best part about it.
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, you know, I feel like, man, I want to give it my all until I can't. And to know that, you know, it's something about when you you know, for me as an actor, when I look on the screen and see, if I see somebody else doing the movement and I feel like I can do it. Like, I feel like I could do it all. I mean, it takes time and hard work, but I feel like I could do it. And having somebody who, like a person like Keanu to be like, this is my goal to get to this level. This is somebody who has done this work for years, for decades. So, I mean, you know, it's inspiring to me, and it's worth it, the energy we put in, especially, you know, I haven't seen the movie yet, but you know, the movie said it's amazing.
He's unreal. He's
So good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't wait, man.
James Wick here from JOBLO.com. Don't mess with my dog. I'm here at the John Wick Chapter 2 premiere, and I'm so stoked because the movie's awesome. We're going to talk to a few of these people. You're no stranger to action. What's your favorite action movie?
Gosh, you know, I like those period pieces, like Braveheart.
I was going to say Room with a View,
Gladiator,
probably not.
There's something for those too, but,
Yeah.
and they have their time and place. But
Yeah.
I love the period pieces where you see pieces of history come to life. I think those things are things I really enjoy watching.
You saw the first John Wick.
I did.
Are you stoked for this?
Absolutely.
I've seen it.
The action sequences in the first movie were amazing. Chad Stahelski did a phenomenal job. Obviously, I got to work with him through The Expendables.
Yeah.
To see him direct now, he's one of the hottest guys in the business right now. So I'm excited to see what he's done with this and where this is going.
It's changing too. I mean, with Mad Max and this one, John Wick, it seems like the way stunts are moving in a really more realistic, you know, practical way as opposed to the CGI. Are you cool with that? I mean,
I'm absolutely cool with that. The stunt crews are amazing. The things they do, and realistically pull off are incredible. I wish they'd let me do more of that stuff.
I know, right?
They tend to keep us out of some of that crazy stuff, but
more Expendables for you?
yes, it sounds like it's greenlit for May or June time frame. So we're waiting on the script and all excited about being back in there.
So first of all, you know we're huge fans of this series.
Great.
And I've seen this one. The opening sequence blows everything away.
Awesome.
Talk about putting that together.
The opening sequence we actually shot in New York, in Times Square, which was really difficult to do. And we also shot in Montreal, because we had to elongate the series. It looks like all New York, but part of it was done in Montreal. But it was closing down Times Square in the middle of the night, a motorcycle gag, car gag, and everything that we did was stylized by our DP and lit. And we set up some great, really cool LED strips, different colors. You'll see the whole movie has these vibrant red and colors. It's great.
Yeah, I feel like there's such a great sense of style, action, real action, not the bullshit CG we see.
Yeah.
And also visually, it's just beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
How hard is that to put together? And I mean, is it the stunt work? Do you think it's what Chad brings to it?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of what Chad brings to it and the stunt work and the stunt design. Between Chad and our stunt coordinator, JJ Perry, they designed some great action sequences. It's all like photoreal. You could tell it's not, it just looks different. And Keanu does everything himself, which just brings a whole nother layer. He's just like the toughest guy on the set. Between that and our DP, Dan Louston, who just lit everything amazing. Like just everything looks sharp and detailed and great colors. It's just really fun to watch, like you said. There's a lot of kills, and it's just, you know, it's great entertainment.
There's a couple kills, yeah, a
Yes.
couple. Hey, Chad, how are you? Good seeing you, man. Hey, so first of all, we didn't talk about the mythology. I'm really fascinated by the mythology in this film specifically because you build some amazing worlds. That's the concert in Rome, everything. Can you talk about the construction of this mythology?
Well, like I said, or like I keep saying, I went to the Harvard of film schools. I studied 10 years with the Wachowskis during the Matrix trilogy. And if you want to talk about world creation, just the tricks of the trailer that we picked up so much just watching the attention to detail they gave. And the illusion you can create, and that starts with, you know, Rock Constance's op. It starts with what they wear, so how they drink, how they talk. Yes, Mr. Wick. No, Mr. Wick. Yes, but like just the etiquette that kind of use, the kind of posture they all have, the respect they get, the code of ethics that we've painted into the world. I think that's very, very important to build the disbelief. You're in a different world. It's now, but it's in a different reality. It's not the real world. I like the idea that all of John Wick is a hidden world beneath what's going on all around us. And I think that buys us a little creds with how much we can take the action and kind of the ridiculousness of the situations. You know, everything, if you look at everything's about a code of conduct. It's a marker, the rules of the Continental, the bond between thieves, if you will, the assassin's professional courtesy with Common and Keanu. I was always fascinated by like the Knights of the Round Table, Arthurian tales, and to kind of bring that code of ethics or that code into modern times is very appealing.
Nice. Now, I love in this film we actually get to see why the suit is made the way it is. Are we going to see more little hints as we go further?
You know, again, I grew up with all the old Bonds, you know, Sean Connery and Roger Moore, and with Q with the little gadgets. We wanted to include that, but we didn't want to try and just steal from Bond and have little moments, so we tried to think a little bit beyond if this was a real world. I just didn't want somebody to get on a computer and go, oh, we'll just fix it. This is all in practical time, real time, analog, you know, I guess analog communications. We use carrier pigeons, we use old switchboards. I wanted to seem like, you know, human intelligence gets you out of trouble and not gadgets, but a little bit of custom work from Agent Time's suit of armor, you know, into a new Kevlar kind of suit. Sword is a gun, gun is a sword, that kind of thing. Or the sword is a pencil now, I guess. It's cool.
So I've got to say, you're part of John Wick, and now you're moving into Deadpool. That's insane. What? That's crazy. Yeah. How are you going to go from this kind of real world John Wick, even though it's kind of over the top, to Deadpool, which is just completely batshit crazy?
I think it's going to be fun. I mean, I've always wanted to do comedy. I mean, even you know, and working with that creative team with Simon and Ryan and Rhett and Paul, like those guys they have it all on lockdown, and they're great and they're amazing. You know, it's a big studio, like juggernaut of a movie, and it's a big franchise, and it's some huge shoes to fill. But we're already down the road making some really cool choices, and it's going to be a blast. And working with those guys, like, we'll hit it out of the park. I have no doubt.
Well, how close are you staying to the original? And it's kind of it was kind of cheap. It kind of had those moments where, hey, we can't afford the rest of the X-Men. Are we going to see that in this?
Yeah, there's this fun, irreverent nature to Deadpool, which is why I fell in love with it, which is why I'm honored to be part of that franchise. And I think you want to keep the DNA of that. It's going to be fun to spin out the world a little bit and expand it. I mean, you just have to on a sequel, and you'll see that obviously in John Wick 2. But we want to stay true to that sort of. It's this, you know, the little superhero movie that could, you know, and it's the fun, irreverent movie.
Are you going to go crazy? Are you going crazy with the stunts?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I can't not. I mean, it's in our DNA to go, you know, to take the stunts in an organic way as well, and like take a more of a practical way, and maybe go bigger. But it's not about bigger. It's, you know, Deadpool is always about. It plays against the expectations of superhero movies, and I think that's why it was so successful, or one of the reasons it was so successful is it plays against those expectations. And we need to make sure that the action is really furthering the characters and moving the story along, and you know, and we're having fun with the action, and it's not action for spectacle, it's action for Deadpool's character, you know, and giving him a platform for another, you know, physical device for comedy and, you know, character as well. So.
I can't wait to see how well you work with Ryan. It must be kind of trippy because he has so much love for that character. What has that relationship been like?
Well, it's great because he knows the character inside and out, and I think as a director, I'm a collaborator, and I always have. And like on The Coldest City, I just got finished collaborating with Charlize, and I think she would tell you the same thing. It's like you have to leave a lot of that up to the actor to really come to you with, like, what is this character about? Who are they going to be? And, like, you know, then you share that and you move it forward. He understands Deadpool inside and out. I mean, he is Deadpool. And you have to embrace it and go with it. And you give him some guidance on the macro, but in terms of, like, the character, it's amazing how locked in he is. Wow. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see what you did with the stunts here, what you do in that film. That's going to be amazing.
I'm excited to play, like I said, I'm interested in doing sort of the irreverent comedy that Deadpool offers, and I'm, you know, maybe have a few more resources, but it's the most fun sandbox in the world. I mean, Deadpool universe is amazing.
Well, you're involved with
John Wick too. Like, it's an amazing universe to play in.
You basically made 2 of the best action movies already, so you know you're involved with this. So congratulations,
Well,
man.
thank you.
Yeah, I actually saw this, so and I fucking loved it.
Love it.
Loved it.
Thank you.
Hey, man, how are you? I'm scared of you. I've seen this movie.
Oh,
You are scary.
no, I'm a good boy.
Well, you really go the evil route in this. How did you find that?
Just because I am.
Oh my God. I'm scared now. It must have been fun playing in the sandbox with Keanu.
It is very fun. I mean, I have such a fun making this movie. You know, shooting this movie was like, you know, because it's be a very bad boy, bad guy in a movie. It's something for as an actor, you know. I mean, it's fantastic, and yes, of course, you know, he's not just bad. You know, he has his point of view. You know, which you know, it's a little bit, you know, it's terrifying, to be honest. But you know.
It's a little skewed.
Yeah, I put myself, I said, okay, I have to think like Santino. I have to think like him, and you know.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I mean, and the action, man. Were you ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it. I've done so many movies. You know, not big like this one. You know, this is a very big and absolutely fun action movie. I think the audience they're gonna have a lot of fun watching this movie. You know, it's just a big, you know, entertaining.
I was dizzy after the first sequence. I was like, oh my God. Oh my, that thing is amazing.
Yeah.
And now we are. Here you're at the premiere. Are you excited?
Yeah, very, very excited, yeah. And, you know, it's my first big American movie as an actor, so.
Well, you were awesome, by the way. Seriously, dude. Seriously.
What are your characters briefly?
My character's name is Cassie, and I'm like a rival to John Wick. Like I'm a high level assassin like John Wick is, right? So, I mean, my skill level is at his level where we're going at each other. But I don't hate John Wick, but when it's time, when he crosses the line, it's like my character goes at him.
Talk about adapting the mythology, because you're new to this film, and there's a whole lot of mythology going on here, especially with your character. Can you?
Well, I mean, first of all, the John Wick world is something I really enjoy. When I saw the first film, I was like, man, I love this. Like, so that I kind of just got sucked into the world. But then, like reading the new script, I understood the mythology even more. I got to work with Chad about like what this code was, and as I trained and learned more and got into my outfit, you know, I was like, Cassian became alive. I felt that I was that assassin that I needed to be in John Wick's world.
But everybody's giving you so much props about what you did in this film. So tell us, what did you do, man?
I don't know. I mean, I know what I trained to do and what we did. I haven't seen the film yet, but I know it was, you know, John Wick and my character have a lot of fight scenes. Now, and they're really extensive fights, so maybe people like those because, I mean, you know, Chad and 8711 do some of the best, like, fight sequences and stunt work that you'll ever see in film. So that's why I'm here to enjoy it, man.
So we talked earlier about, you know, kind of preparing for the role, but I didn't talk about tactical, man. You have a lot of guns.
I have a lot of, well, I don't have a lot of guns.
Well, you take a lot of guns.
Yeah, I do actually. I do take some guns in this one. I do some disarms.
What is the process for like knowing this stuff?
The part of the thing is that Chad Stahelski wanted John Wick to be in a situation where he had nothing, and then he just kept grabbing people's stuff, you know, and he just like, okay, I could take that, and I'll take that, you know. So it was fun. In the museum sequence, he does that. He's just taking people's guns.
Well, the sequences in this like rock concert, I'm still blown away by. I can't get out of my head. Is that crazy to work around? I mean, that's just seems insane.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, concert going on, people dancing around. You got a gun. You're like a fake gun.
A fake gun.
Yeah, in a hyper world of John Wick. Yeah, it's fun.
What do you bring to it now? What do you want to bring to this character for you personally? Like going on with Chapter 3.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, really. I mean, we made this film with love, and hopefully people will enjoy it, and if they do, and then we'll get a chance to keep telling the story. I hope we get that chance, but we'll see.